Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our English class. Today, we are learning to summarize a fairy tale. For our starter activity, think and answer this question. Have you ever read any fairy tale story? If yes, then what was it? Pause the video and think for your answer. Time is up. All right. Thank you so much. Now you may share your answer to someone there at home. Today, our learning objective is to develop understanding of what you have read by becoming increasingly familiar with and retelling a wider range of stories, fairy stories, and traditional tales. If you want to reach the achieved level, you have to summarize the story in sentences. To reach mastered level, you have to complete a summary in paragraphs. What is a summary? Is it the same as the story? How similar or how different is it? Pause the video and think for your answer. You're right. Story or a summary is different from the whole story. A summary is just a short synopsis of a story. It has only the most important part of the story and not the whole details of the story. So now, let's find out what are the key features of a summary. What is a summary? A summary uses sentences which are rewritten in your own words. Therefore, when you are writing your summary, you have only to retell the story in your own words, not by copying the story that you have read. This is to show that you have understood and you have comprehended the questions, the story as its plot. Second, it shows an understanding of the meaning of the article using your own words. So it shows that you have understood the story and you can express it in your own words. Uses keywords from the text showing understanding of the subject. So you may use some of the words from the text, but not all the details. Uses a sentence to explain each subsection or paragraph and only the important ideas. Right. The summary has only the most important parts of the story and its important ideas. It doesn't have the full details of the story. A summary is not sentences, paragraphs which are copied word for word from the text. You should not copy words or the details of the story from the text. You should not copy sentences from the article with no further writing to show your understanding. So when you just copy the sentence from the story without using your own words, it simply means that you don't understand really the story and you just wanted to copy the lines from the story. A dictionary entry of the new words in the text. So you should not put a dictionary entry or putting up the meaning of the story, the word. Using a dictionary, you should have understood what's the meaning of the word from its keywords. And you should not be as long as the original article. That is right. A summary is just a short part of the story that contains only the important events. Now here's an example of a story summary of Cinderella. So if you're going to read a Cinderella story, you may get not just as this page, but maybe 20 more pages of these. But because this is just a summary, you can read the whole story by just a paragraph. So here we go. Cinderella's mother dies and her father's father remarries. Shortly after, her father died as well. Cinderella's stepmother didn't like her and made her work as a servant in the household. One day, the family was invited to a royal ball. The stepmother said Cinderella could go to the ball if all her work was finished. Cinderella's fairy godmother appeared and helped her make it to the ball. She danced with the prince and he fell in love with her. At midnight, she left the ball but left behind a glass slipper. The prince found it and used it to identify Cinderella after. After he found her, they lived happily ever after. Now, can you compare the full details of this Cinderella story done to its summary? Very different, right? So, a summary only has the most important part of the story, not the full details, just like the book. So when you're writing a summary, you can just rewrite it the way you understood the story or the way you have comprehended the story by recalling the details and using your own words. Now, let's watch this video. Hello, my name is Mrs. Wood and I'm going to teach you how to write a summary. To summarize means to retell a story in your own words. And to summarize, use your own words. Keep it short. Tell the main idea for the beginning, middle, and end. And don't forget who, what, when, where, and why, and how. Use a few words to tell the most important part of the story. Use the keywords somebody, wanted, but, so, then. Use the big five. S for somebody. Who is the main character? W. Wanted. What did the character want? B. But. But what was the problem? S. So. So how did the character try to solve the problem? T. Then. Then what was the solution to the problem? See you later. So, you have the big five for story or summary writing. We have SWBST. Somebody, wanted, but, so, then. S. Who is the main character? Somebody. Wanted. What does the character wanted? B. But. What is the problem? So how does the character solve the problem? And then, how does the story end? So take note of these big five as your guide. Now, think about a fairy tale that you know or have read. Then, write a summary for it. First, write who are the characters in the story. Then, what they wanted to do. Third, what was their problem if they have encountered a problem. Then, fourth, so how did they solve the problem? And then, what was the resolution to the story? How they were able to solve the problem? And what will be your ending? Activity 2. You may write now the full summary of your story from the template on the activity 1. So you may write the title on the top. Then what would be the details based on the template you have in the activity 1. Then you may read out your writings To the person at home, it's either be your mom, your sister, your dad, or your brother. I hope you have learned something today. I'll see you next meeting on Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.